Hello everyone and welcome to a new video dedicated to our beloved Snoopy and the world of Peanuts. In the November 28, 1950 strip, Charles Schulz gives us a hilarious scene that encapsulates the essence of the Peanuts: simplicity, irony, and a glimpse of the characters' personalities. At the center we find Snoopy, Shermy, and Patty. The interaction between them reflects everyday dynamics that, while extremely ordinary, become extraordinary thanks to the comic vein and artistry of the cartoonist. This strip revolves around a mundane but universal situation: the difficulty of getting a dog to sit still for a photograph. The entire scene is built on alternating tension and resolution, giving us an ending that perfectly sums up the organized chaos of the Peanuts world. This seemingly light moment allows us to grasp some aspects of the personalities of Shermy, Patty, and the young Snoopy, still far from the philosophical icon he would become in later years. But what makes this strip so special? Let us analyze it vignette by vignette to reveal every detail, delving into the curiosities and historical aspects related to this early phase of the comic strip. In the first vignette, Shermy holds a wiggling young Snoopy, clearly annoyed. Patty, with a determined expression, asks him if she can't make him sit still. This simple exchange immediately introduces a very common situation for anyone who has ever tried to photograph a pet. Interestingly, Snoopy, at this stage of the strips, is portrayed more as a traditional dog than the complex, almost human character he will become in the future. His expression and the way he moves are typical of a puppy, showing Schulz's early connection to a realistic depiction of animals. This also reflects the influence that his dog Spike had had on him, a key inspiration for the creation of Snoopy. In the second vignette, the action intensifies with Shermy visibly exasperated, urging Patty to take the picture quickly. Snoopy continues to wiggle, making the situation increasingly frantic. This moment highlights the dynamic between Shermy and Patty. Shermy, despite her apparent calm in previous strips, shows a more impatient side, while Patty maintains control of the situation, pressing on with her photographic intent. It is fascinating to observe how Schulz, even in such a simple situation, manages to bring out the nuances of his characters' personalities. Moreover, the depiction of Snoopy's movement with kinetic lines is a stylistic detail that underscores the dynamism of the scene, a hallmark of the comic strip that evolves with time. In the third vignette, Snoopy becomes even more agitated, causing Shermy to fall to the ground. The scene takes on a slapstick tone, creating a moment of physical comedy that breaks the tension buildup in the previous vignettes. Shermy continues to urge Patty to hurry up, while she seems to take it easy, scolding him instead for standing still. This type of humor, while less philosophical than later strips, shows how Schulz was a master at creating funny situations with just a few elements. Snoopy, while still a puppy, begins to show a certain resourcefulness that anticipates his future development. Interestingly, this strip falls in the vein of early depictions in which the interaction between children and pets is central, a theme that will remain recurrent in the world of Peanuts. In the fourth vignette, the situation is resolved with a perfect picture. Snoopy, now quietly sitting on Shermy's stomach, is finally photographed by Patty, who succeeds in capturing the longed-for moment. The simplicity of this final vignette perfectly closes the story arc, leaving room for reflection on patience and perseverance, themes that, while lighthearted, run through this scene. Snoopy's posture, relaxed and almost satisfied, seems almost a mockery to Shermy, who has suffered the chaos of the scene. This moment underscores how Snoopy is, from the beginning, a central character, capable of catalyzing attention and stealing the show even when he is not at the center of the narrative. Trivia, anecdotes, and insights. This strip, published on November 28, 1950, belongs to the first year of the Peanuts, a period when Charles Schulz was still defining the personalities and dynamics among the characters. Shermy, who appears here as one of the main characters, is a character who will have less and less relevance over the years, until he disappears almost entirely. This is because Schulz, over time, will focus on more complex figures such as Charlie Brown, Lucy, Linus, and of course Snoopy. Speaking of Snoopy, at this early stage of the series, the puppy is depicted very realistically, both in behavior and appearance. There are no traces yet of the anthropomorphic, philosophical dog he will become in later years. However, his personality begins to emerge. He is lively, independent, and full of energy, characteristics that will make him one of the most beloved characters in the series. An interesting aspect of this strip is the role of photography. In 1950, taking a picture was a very different process from today. It required time, patience, and bulky equipment. Patty's camera is a clear reminder of a time when technology was much less accessible and immediate than it is today. This detail makes the scene even more meaningful, adding a touch of nostalgia for modern readers. Another element to note is Schulz's drawing style, which is still evolving at this stage. The lines are simpler and the characters less defined than we would come to know them in later years. However, Schulz's ability to capture movement and emotion with just a few strokes is already evident. Shermie's fall in the third vignette, for example, is rendered extremely effectively despite the simplicity of the drawing. Finally, this strip gives us a glimpse into the social dynamics of the group. Patty emerges as an assertive authority figure, Shermie as a more passive and accommodating character, and Snoopy as the element of chaos that keeps everything moving. These roles will evolve over time, but here we can already glimpse the foundations of what the Peanuts will become, a complex and fascinating depiction of human interactions, told through the filter of childhood.
If you enjoyed yourselves, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and activate the little bell to stay updated, and see you next friends.